Good evening and welcome to Newsbite. I am Nicole Peters and making the headlines this week. St Helena Airport receives certification. Miss St Helena 2016 crowned. What the Saints Did Next hosts photography exhibition. We speak to the new governor. Primary school pupils try their hand at presenting Newsbite. And Hannah Danford has your weekly sports roundup. It's been less than a month since Come Air touched down on St Helena for the first time, and in the period since then the island has been on a roller coaster ride. The high of the first ever commercial aircraft landing here was followed by the low when they announced the official airport opening would be delayed. But now we're up on another high. Earlier this week the government announced that airport regulators ASSI had granted the island certification, meaning that they're happy that the aviation security and air traffic control is up to international standards. But unfortunately, this doesn't mean planes will land straight away. The problem that Come Air found when landing on the island is still there and still needs work. But despite this, Airport Project Director Janet Lawrence is clearly delighted with the latest news.
We're obviously very, very excited. It's an immense achievement for any airport, but for a brand new airport which started from scratch to work on certification and operational readiness to achieve this and to achieve it after our very first on-site audit. That is just massive. I don't even have words for it. And I guess thanks to the team in Basil Reed, Gwyneth Howell and all of her people, to the PMU, DFID, and of course the staff, the access officer who will work on certification.
So, what's going to happen next?
Okay, next is obviously plans for operations. So we're still flat out with trials and so on. There's a trial taking place on Friday, and of course we've got our open day afterwards. And we're working consistently and quietly in the background on wind shear and turbulence issues. And we plan to be able to put some recommendations to our senior management in the week beginning the 23rd of May.
Over 400 people gathered at Prince Andrew's School last weekend to see the Miss St Helena contest. 13 girls participated in the event, which was organised by the St Helena Girl Guiding Association. The girls were judged on poise, presentation and personality. Compare for the night was John Wollacott, and the three judges were Elsie Hughes, Nick Silverstone and Anya O'Keefe. After a few rounds of questions, Kimberly Young of Longwood was crowned Miss St Helena, with Kaylee Young first runner-up and Jodie Sipu-Constantine second runner-up.
I can now announce that the winner of Miss St Helena 2016, she was rated favourably for the judges for being highly intelligent, considerate and compassionate. It's contestant number 10, Kimberly Young! Miss St Helena 2016, Kimberly Young will now be crowned and sashed. This should be great. And the winner's cheque for £700. Please give a big round of applause for Miss St Helena 2016, Kimberly Young.
On Thursday, the 5th of May, What the Saints Did Next, Darren and Sharon Henry invited a crowd of 50 guests to celebrate the launch of their latest exhibition, Labour Take on Time. During the launch, guests enjoyed complimentary snacks and beverages whilst marvelling at the black and white photos, all of which were on sale during the exhibition. Darren told us how the idea came about.
Basically, last year we went traveling, and one thing that really impressed us was how other countries really document their culture and their history, and in such simple ways, but it allows people to just get a sense of the place that they're visiting. And as soon as we got back, we knew we wanted to do something like this. I approached Mandy, and to be honest, I expected loads of rules and guidelines about what you can and can't do, but she was just 100% on board. Absolutely, she said, just don't get hurt, don't let anything happen to you. And originally the idea was just to take the pictures so that we could preserve it. The exhibition wasn't actually in my mind at the time. But from day one when I got out there, I could, like, everything, although we go past in the boat and we see the guys working from the wharf, until you actually go out there, I had such an appreciation afterwards for what they actually do. It was actually an amazing task. The first surprise I had was that the working day was 12 hours. And I said to the guys on the barge the first day, what time do you have tea? And they said, we don't have a time for tea, we fit it in when we can. And honestly, that's the way it works, between dropping off cargo and picking up the next lot, they'll squeeze in tea. It's the same on the wharf and everywhere. Every single time I went out, there was a new problem that came up that you couldn't have planned for. And it was just amazing to see how quickly they could come up with solutions to fix things. It was just unbelievable. And in front of me was just this amazing example of people's ability to train people, to mentor people, to problem solve, to time manage. We never know of the ship not leaving because the cargo couldn't get off, regardless, the cargo always comes off. So the exhibition just had to happen. It was just staring me in the face. It just had to happen. So so that's it really. Just enjoy the pictures. Thank you everybody for coming, and good to see you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's been a hectic couple of weeks for Lisa Phillips since she first arrived on St Helena and was sworn in as governor. In her time, she managed to party at Dunnies, go to constituency meetings, and visit Ebony View, Cape Villa, Barn View, Deasons, and Brick House. She turned up for the commemoration of Napoleon's death, watched New Horizons' #1 hit show, and helped out at Bootylicious. But in all of this, tearing herself away from the busy schedule, she found half an hour to sit down with August Graham in the Castle Gardens, where she admitted to loving the Spice Girls.
Right, so we're joined now in the Castle Gardens by our new governor, Lisa Phillips. First of all, Lisa, welcome to the island. How are you finding it so far?
Thank you very much. I am loving the island. I've been out and about, I've met loads and loads of people. I think it's an absolutely beautiful place and I'm really enjoying it.
So you said you want to be a more visible governor. This is one of the things you said in your inauguration speech. Are we going to expect this kind of outgoing Lisa Phillips all along? Are you going to be completely worn out by the time you leave this island?
No, I don't think so. I hope not. Anyway, this is just me. This is what I'm like. I hope that this won't just be a peak at the very beginning. My favourite thing to do is just to get out and speak to people. I've been to a couple of constituency meetings, one in Longwood and one this week in Sandy Bay. So we had a really good turnout and I heard from the community what their worries were. And some of them are, again, marvellous. We talked about mouldy bread and rats and rabbits, but some of them, I like to hear what's on people's minds, things like roads and when their rubbish is going to be collected, what they want from their government. So that's all been great for me.
So, there are a lot of hopes and expectations on you right now. I don't think I've ever seen so much positivity around one person arriving on this island in my time here. How are you going to deal with this pressure?
I don't find it as a pressure at all. No, I don't. As I say, I think I just will listen. The way I am is the way I am. I'm not putting any of this on. so I don't find it as a pressure, and I'll just do what I can.
Looking ahead on your time here, you've got, how many years are you here for? 3 years. What challenges do you foresee in that time?
I think the main challenge is going to be the opening up of the island from the airport. It'll be a challenge, and as they say, it'll be an opportunity as well. I'm very much glass half full, but we need to do it sensibly. You know, we need to just choose our investors wisely. We need to make sure tourists have a good experience. We need to make sure that they spend as much money on the island as they can, and there's a lot of things that need to be put in place or are in place to make that happen.
So these things like choosing investors wisely and making sure that tourists have a good experience, what would they entail?
I think for investors, investors have not come to St Helena, or not as easily as we'd like in the past. There's a lot of interest, but we need to make sure they're the right investors. We need to do our due diligence on them. Are they investing here for the right reason? Are they going to invest ethically? Coming from a DFID background, I'm really interested in making sure that the investors that come here give back to the community. So we need to maximise the jobs that they offer to the community. We also need to push them into doing good corporate social responsibility. So are they providing leadership training, for example, for their staff? Are they going to do projects around the island? I mean, we don't want to scare them off, of course, but I will be looking to make sure they don't just come in and are extractive of the island. We need to make sure their money stays on the island.
Here now is Hannah Downford with your Sports Roundup. 2 competitions were played at Longwood Golf Club on the weekend. On Saturday, the club held a Texas Scramble to bid farewell to Neiman family. 26 players took part in near-perfect weather conditions. Nikki Stevens and Kaylin Crowey shot 46 Stableford points to finish in 3rd. Norman Thomas and Neil Joshua also shot 46 points, but scooped 2nd place honours after winning on a countback. Winners after shooting an impressive 48 points were Stuart Moores and Lawson Henry. On Sunday, the insiders, golfers from Longwood, took on the outsiders, golfers from other districts, in an 18-hole match play. 10 teams took part and scores were tied after the round. A rematch will soon take place. Now cricket. Francis Plain played host to the cricket knockout semi-final matchups on Sunday. St Paul's B and Rebels contested the morning fixture, with Rebels batting first and posting 141 in 23 overs. Aidan Leo's 41 was the highest score. Cliff Richards took 3 for 42 for St Paul's in his 5-over spell. AJ Bennett struck 57 in the run chase, but he was the only St Paul's batsman to reach double figures, as Aidan Leo took 4 wickets for 30 runs and St Paul's were bowled out, some 33 runs short of the required target. The second semi-final saw league winners and T20 champions Levelwood All-Stars defeat St Matthew's Lions to keep the dream of a treble-winning season alive. All-Stars batted first and captain Darryl Liu, who returned to the top of the order, struck 76 to lead his side to 175 of 25 overs. Lions lost early wickets and were always behind the required run rate during the run chase. All-Stars bowlers performed well, but Sanjay Klingham's 3 for 18 was particularly classy. Lions were bowled for 108. Michael Bedwell's 14 was the highest score. This now means that for a second consecutive year, the knockout final will be contested by 2 teams representing the district of Levelwood. In ladies volleyball, survivors have been named WSA Volley League champions after winning all of their 2016 league matches. The undefeated team gained a total of 24 points during the campaign and finished ahead of 4 other teams. Sitting in second place, 6 points of the pace, were St Setters. Congratulations, ladies. With one more match to play in the cricket season, the SHFA are busy planning for the impending football season. Wolves and Rovers will contest the first game of the 2016 football season. after the 28th of May was set as the start date in the Football Association's AGM last Thursday. Once again, 10 teams will battle it out for league glory. Each team, as usual, will need to pay a £200 entrance fee, with a new rule in place ensuring that players arriving on island after the league has started register with their team and pay a £15 fee to play. Hearts will organise the first day's action, which will see Wolves and Rovers go to battle, followed by Fugees and Axes, with Bellboys and Hotshots going one-on-one on Sunday, followed by Chop Shop Boys and Crusaders, organised by the Refugees.
Thanks, Hannah. And finally, Year 3 and 4 pupils from St Paul's and Pelling Primary Schools visited the SAMS offices on Thursday to learn about various aspects of working in media. We leave you now with them trying their hands at television presenting.